Hey everyone, I'm Kim with Abundant Life Tarot. Welcome back. Welcome back. So we're going to do things a little differently. It's been a while since I've done like a monthly favorites. You all know I used to be real faithful about my monthly favorites. Then I changed the name from monthly favorites to month in review. Well, I stopped doing them last year. Things got a little hectic, but I'm bringing it back. And I saw some of my other fellow YouTubers doing quarterly reviews, and I'm all here for the quarterlies, okay? Because then I don't feel as pressured, right? But we're gonna talk about my decks that I was loving and loved them so much that I put them in my lovely planner. I track each month, I track the main decks that I love the most because it helps me at the end of the year when I'm doing my top 10 decks of the year. It helps me to consult this. So I am looking back at January, February, March at the decks that really stole my heart, that I was using for a variety of reasons, and I can't wait to share them with you. So join me for my quarterly deck in review. So first up is January. Let's talk about my Oracle decks first. So I just need to show y'all, and you probably won't be able to see it well. You see this little list right here? Lighting. You see that? Those are all the decks that I've used in the month of January, okay? And I don't care if it's a working deck or not. I don't care if it's a deck that I personally created with make playing cards for myself. I don't care. I put it on there. And I usually will put an update down here, the decks that I use more consistently or they really stand out in my mind. So that's what we're doing today. Oracle deck. The first one I want to talk about is this one. This is an oldie but goodie. This is the Energy Oracle cards. It's a Hay House deck by Sandra Ann Taylor. And I really enjoy her decks. I have the Quantum Oracle as well, and I like that one too. But I've had this one a really long time. It's got a nice chunky guidebook. Let me see. For example, card number 19. Look at this. You've got your little image here. It says relaxation and rejuvenation is the key phrase. And it has an upright and reversed meaning. And on the next page, it has an affirmation for each of the cards. So this is quite a special deck to me. And I use it primarily for New Year's readings. I do a very large spread for either my clients or for myself. I do a reading for myself every year for New Year's, but I also do them for my clients. And this is one of the decks that I use. So in January, I was still having people book New Year's readings during that time. I think I was kind of running late on doing my own readings, so it was January that I was using it, and I just really enjoy it. Look, we have Door to Value. Sorry for the glare. Attachment. Lots of glare. It's got some Archangel decks as well as, combined with chakras. So we have second chakra, Archangel, Ariel. Okay. Indecision. Trying not to get the glare. Cornucopia. Let's see if there's any others that I want to talk about. We've got Patience, Deceit, Door to Value, Anxiety, Adjacent Possibilities, Caring Connection. So I don't know if I did an unboxing of this deck on my channel because I had it a long time. We got Contract. I like this one. So I don't know. You could do a search within my channel, you know, the box at the top when you're like in the actual channel. You could search and look up Energy Oracle, and any videos that I've done on it should pop up, because I try to be good about tagging it. But yeah, Energy Oracle, really enjoyed this deck, and I typically use it for just this New Year's reading. Every now and then I'm called to pull it off the shelf and use it, but it just really works in the spread that I do. So there's that. So moving on to the next Oracle. I've mentioned it before. I did an unboxing of this deck probably late last year. This is the Trace Evidence Telling cards, and I believe now you can get them through Make Playing Cards. So yay. But I got mine's back when, did I order it through Etsy? I think through the creator's website. I use this deck. Many of you know who follow my Mystery Mystic Mondays. I use this deck for a lot of those readings. Okay. And obviously I was doing a lot of those videos, so I was using this deck a lot. I don't use it in client readings. I don't even really use it for readings for myself. I think once I did, and it was accurate. And thankfully it wasn't, you know, it's not missing person related, but anyways, it was accurate. So I use this deck a lot now, and I really enjoy it. Alive. You guys have probably seen that one a lot on Mystery Mystic Mondays. Bones. Family. Fraud. Jail. Hired help. Trauma. Ooh. Con man. So yeah, I can go on and on, but I know for a fact I did an unboxing of this deck, so yeah, check it out. I need to make sure I make a list. Hold on. I'm going to make a list of the decks that I'm including so that I can maybe update the description with links to some videos that I've recorded in the past that you can explore the deck further. All right. So let's move on to Tarot. Tarot. So we got Spirit Within Tarot by Stephen Bright. I don't know why I want to say his middle name. This is a red feather shiffer deck, and I've owned it a long time as well. I think I have an unboxing, but it might be one that I didn't do an unboxing on. I'm starting to find that I thought in my mind I had did all these unboxings of all my decks, and you guys know at one point I had like 222 decks, and then it's down to like 165, I think. But I thought I did unboxings on all of them, but I don't think I did. So anyways, but I know I've talked about this. If I haven't done a deck in focus, I've talked about this deck a lot. I really like it. I use it also as a part of that great spread that I do, the large spread for New Year's. So it just works in that way. I don't know why I have some decks that just work perfectly for a specific reading, but this would be it. I've used them a lot. I use this card or this deck a lot. There was a time I was using it for client readings a lot. I mean, I do use this for client readings for New Year's readings, but anyways, all that to say, I love this Three of Swords. I use this deck all the time for New Year's, so it gets used, but I'm hoping to use it a bit more this year in non-New Year's readings. Here's the Death card. Really enjoyed this deck. I love how colorful it is. I love the silhouettes. Queen of Swords. Yeah, I really enjoy the deck, and the guidebook is great too. It's got a little cool little guidebook. So yeah, you guys, that is it that I want to talk about for January. We're gonna now move on to the next month. February. February is my birthday month, okay? So it's usually a busy month in terms of decks, but not procurements this year. In 2022, I am happy to report I actually haven't bought any decks. Yeah, I backed a deck back in November, early November, and that's the last time I really made a purchase. So all the decks that I am sharing with you all today is ones I've owned for a little bit. So I'm happy about that. All right, so let's get to it. Let's get to it. I really love this deck. This is the African Goddess Rising Oracle by Abiola Abrams. Another Hay House deck. And I know some people have some bones or some gripes about this deck, but I don't. I actually use this deck, and I'm toying with the idea of starting to use it with client readings, but right now it's just been a deck for my own introspection. I'll pull a card usually about once a week. So you want to see the card for this week for me? This is April 4th. I'm recording it, and it's Yasiji, Live Out Loud. This is my card, Live Out Loud. And just so you can get a flavor of the guidebook. So that's card number 31. Turn right to it. Goddess of Living Out Loud, Dogon Mali, which I actually have some ancestry. When I did my Ancestry.com thing, my DNA, I do have some Mali blood in me. It says Yasiji, not Yasaji. It's not Yasaji, it's Yasiji, has the reputation of being a free-spirited party goddess. For the Dogon people of Mali, she was the very first Yasigni. The Yasignis are women empowered to participate in mass dances. And Yasiji's guidance, I'm all mispronouncing all over the place. Express yourself. You have something to say. Share your voice and magic. Express your you-ness. Embodiment. The way you express yourself won't make everyone happy. That's okay. You are not meant to. Living out loud and self-expression looks different for everyone. For outgoing extroverts, self-expression may mean dancing on tables, screaming your points of view. Introverts may speak out in other ways and save the louder parts of their personalities for loved ones. True that. Goddess declaration. I am free to express myself fully. Isn't that beautiful? Look at the vibrant colors. So I've been using this deck just for my own introspection. It sits here on my reading table facing me, so I look at it periodically throughout the week. I've done an unboxing, so if you want to check that out, you can. For time's sake, I'm not going to go through all the cards, as you can understand. Oh, look at this. Tituba, feeling safe. And so I want to start incorporating with client readings, but right now I'm just really enjoying it just for me. And I have this weird thing that I don't like to use a deck if it doesn't have all its cards, including Oracle. So it's like it's being held by my energies right now and not for my clients. But it be like that sometimes, it'd be like that. Ah, look at this. Just gorgeous. All right, check the unboxing out. You guys should check it out because I go through all the cards in the unboxing on there. You get to hear me oohing on all the images, so there's that. All right, moving on to the next oracle. The next one you guys have seen a lot on my channel. Where is it? Oh, there you are. I have two little black bags here. You've seen me discuss it a lot. I keep it in this. This is my Mildred Payne Secret Pocket Oracle. I have the mini version. I'm that one who had to collect all of the cards because the creator, y'all know, the creator would say, okay, I'm releasing a new card or I'm releasing 10 new cards. And I was always like, sign me up. I want all of them. So I got all of them. But then I recently discovered that the latest edition of the bridge size, the bigger size of this one, it has additional cards, and I'm like, I don't know, I'm feeling a certain kind of way. But I'm not going to show you guys all of these because I do talk about this deck a lot on my channel. I'll show you in a minute. I have my little guidebook over here. And I use it now primarily for Mystery Mystic Monday readings. It is one of my favorite decks ever. I know this is also a polarizing deck as well. It is not for everyone. Some people, rightly have some concerns about it. But for me, well, I like it. So I'm going to keep using it and talking about it. So that's the Mildred Payne's. It's got different backs because, again, there was like the original puzzle backing where all the backs formulated a puzzle. And then after the puzzle was complete, then the creator was like, had different backs, for each time they published more cards, which I kind of appreciated. I kind of liked adding to my collection. I keep my guidebooks that are on PDF printed, and it's getting rough though. I'm gonna have to get a new one of these, but I keep that for my PDF Oracle guidebooks. But why I'm showing this to you is because I did that for the Mildred Payne's guidebook. So it lays flat too. So, yeah. Moving on. What do we have next? Oh, I'll just talk briefly about this one. I haven't talked about this one in a while. This is my Earthbound Oracle. And this is a nice size. This is the size I want in the Mildred Payne, but I'm going to do some spreads to see if I need to add it to the collection. Back when I first asked Spirit about whether or not to add the bigger size Mildred Payne, I got a no. But now that might change, right? Things could have changed from like when they first came out as the bridge size or poker size. So I love the Earthbound Oracle. Love it. I have this weird way of working with it, you guys, and I'm just going to confess. So sometimes I'll be watching documentaries, movies, true crime, things like that, and I like to mindlessly shuffle, and it's like a perfect little size to shuffle. And then the cards that flip out, it's like it kind of lays out what's happening in the documentary or whatever I'm watching, whether it's YouTube, whether it's on TV or whatever. And then I just read with it. I also sometimes use this in my grander New Year's readings, but I don't think I did this year. It's okay, because I've been using it where I'm just like when I'm vegging and I just need a deck nearby, and it's this one. I really like it. It's super accurate too. And I love this wealth card. I love crystals. So, and here's sleep. Just look at the backs. Transformation. Yeah. A ceremony. Anyways, it's well loved. I've had it a long time and I love it very dearly. All right, I think we're done with Oracle for February. Let's move on to Tarot. This one, I know I did an unboxing, so I won't go through all the cards, but I did use the Tarot of Mystical Moments by Katrine Welch-Stein. This is a U.S. Games tarot deck. You know what that means. That means it's available for you to buy easily and effortlessly, especially if you're in the United States and you have access to U.S. Games, or you could probably get on Amazon or somewhere like that. Tarot of Mystical Moments. Here's the guidebook. This one surprised me. It's gilded. Here's the backs. It surprised me as I didn't use it and I didn't get a chance to connect with it last year when I got it. Or I think I got it the end of the year before, now that I think about it. And I didn't get a chance to connect with it because I was super busy with surgery and selling my house and selling all my stuff and moving and trying to live abroad and now build a home and all this craziness, right? So needless to say, I wasn't really getting to know many of the decks that I had procured within the last few years, 5 years. Now I'm slowed down and I've been getting a chance to get to know my decks, and it's been really lovely. Here's Nine of Swords. I love this Nine of Swords. So I'm just going to say I was surprised because at first, I'm going to be honest, it felt like almost too pretty. I love a whimsical deck, but it almost felt too pretty to use, if you all know what I mean by that. But it delivers on the accuracy of the readings, how deep you can go. You could do some path working with it. It's really beautiful. And I even used it in client readings. And if you all know me, you know that I'm very particular about my client readings, and I only use one particular one. So for me to use this one is kind of a shocker. Okay. Last but not least, let's talk about the Bohemian Gothic. Oh, it isn't the last but not least, but I think I'm going to talk about, well, anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. This is the 3rd edition. And I do have the guidebook, but the compendium, yes, it's by Karen Mahoney and Alex Ukulov. And here's like the little booklet, but I have the actual guidebook. I see people trying to buy it from time to time in the tarot marketplace. I'm thinking to myself, I'm not selling mine. Because I wouldn't be able to with me on the island. I still haven't managed figuring out how to ship stuff to the States. Those are the backs. And I like a complete set of things. If there's a book and there's a deck, I tend to want them to be together. But some people don't care about that. Here's the Hierophant. So I use this in a couple of my love readings. And, you know, in February, it's winter time. And I don't know. This felt right to me for a love deck. There's 9 of Pentacles. Isn't that gorgeous? It's gorgeous. 6 of Cups. I could get lost in the images, and I love this deck dearly. I'm gonna show you guys all the cards. I think I did an unboxing or some sort of paid homage to this deck on my channel. Again, search if I forget to update the description box. I hope I don't. Remind me if I do. So that's it. We're going to pause here because now we're going to move into March. Be right back. So we are now at March. So let's get into March. Now, I haven't talked about this one in a little while, and I need to. This is The Wisdom of Natural Hair by Ida Nguyen Fazy. Probably mispronouncing your name. I apologize. I know I've done some either a review or deck unboxing or deck in focus of this deck, so yeah, check that out. And there's no guidebook, but you don't really need one. It is bilingual. It has English and French keywords. So I love this deck. I actually in March used it a couple of times for client readings, and it really delivered, and I really just love it. And I'm happy to have it in my collection. It says, listen to the wisdom of your hair. Okay. And definitely check out the videos that I've created. I'm now remembering I did do something special, and I talk about my natural hair journey and how spiritual it turned out to be, and how it actually led to many epiphanies going through that to the bigger things that were trying to be born in my life. You know? It says, love your inner child. Here's the card backs. Sorry for the background noise. My husband with the ice thing. Find your path. Bold is strong. Uh-oh. I'm going to have to tell him to turn that down. From roots to tip. And so this deck really works for me because I've been on a journey. But you know what? Even if you're not from this culture, you can show support to the creator, and you can use this deck. You know, it's a totally 100% fully melanated deck. I love. However, you know, just like I use 100% Caucasian decks, you know, don't be afraid, don't be shy to use decks from people of color. Now, obviously, I know some people might feel differently about that depending on what part of the world you're in, but you know, just keep an open mind. Keep an open mind. You never know. Embrace your nation. I like that one. Young natural love. Aww. Take off the mask. Oh yeah, that totally a me moment. Totally a me moment. Back in my 20s and 30s. That was me. I'm like, look it in the mirror. Look at the colors in your hair and life. I could just go on and on. I really love it. I was trying to find the card that came up for my client, but look at this one. Detangle the situation. Share your wisdom. The Silverhead Mother. Long, wise love. Oh, I'm like, I might have to just go watch my old video just so I can go through it and get all excited all over again. So, yeah, the wisdom of natural hair. And like I said, I used it in client readings and it worked out great. All right, moving on to the next one. I am going to talk about this one. This is the Archetype cards by Carolyn Miss. This is a Hay House deck. I did use it for my Court Cards mini series that I did last month as a part of the Light Seers Tarot Study. I love the tarot study. And so what I was doing with it was taking some of these archetypal cards and energies and assigning them, but I was kind of doing it kind of randomly too in some regards, where I would shuffle and see what cards come up for, say, the Queen of Swords. And I would also intentionally go through all of these cards and pick out the archetypal energies that represented that court card. So it was a fun exercise that I did. And as a result of me doing that exercise with you all, I started using this deck again for client readings, in all sorts of readings. Career, definitely relationships, definitely. I like this one for relationships, but all sorts of readings. So it was great because it was like we got to discuss court cards as part of the Light Seers Tarot Study, and I'm giving to you all, and then in return I'm getting this deck back into my professional practice. So that was wonderful. So I'll just show you a few. I'm not going to go through a lot because I'm pretty sure I published an unboxing of this one. This is Detective. It has a light attribute and a shadow attribute to this archetype. We got the femme fatale. Got the father. Let me see. We have a king. Child. There's several child cards in here. Child wounded, child divine, child magical. We got a hermit card. We got a ton. We got thief. We got so many. So definitely check out the unboxing. Oh, look at vampire. Check it out so you can, get familiar with it if you don't already own or know this deck. But I gave you an exercise to do with it. You know how we sometimes have decks sitting on our shelves forever and you're like, I might even sell it. But no, try some of the exercises I did with the Court Card series. Check that out and play with it. You might be surprised what this one can deliver. All right, moving on. Now we're moving on to Tarot. Where are you? So sometimes you just need a classic. Sometimes you just need a classic. And I use this a lot as a part of the tarot study to help with anchoring some of our understandings, because many of us are schooled on the Rider-Waite Smith as our main tarot study. So I use my Borderless edition. This is a U.S. Games deck by Pamela Coleman Smith and Mr. Waite. Yeah. Sometimes you just need a classic in your life. And I found that in doing the tarot study, I started using this deck more and more for that purpose, but then I started leaving it on my reading table after taking pictures of it for the tarot study I started then using it for hotline readings, client readings again. And then even eventually readings for myself, like when I wanted to consult something quick. And actually, yeah, it came through. And it's just nice to go back to the basics. I used to have a lot more clones. I do have clones of Rider-Waite Smith, but not as many as I did before, because I just felt like it was a bit redundant to just constantly buy more and more Rider-Waite Smiths. That's my homeschool's, tarot school of thought and what I was raised in. But I don't need it beat over my head with a bunch of different, identical clones. Like, oh, here's the antique version. Okay, here's the bright version. No. And no shade to folks who do collect them. I used to kind of be one of them, but I'm not anymore. I just use this borderless one, and it works just fine. I mean, you're gonna have your clones, but I need it to be different in some way. All right. Speaking of tarot study, I'm just gonna show you guys my beat up Light Seers Tarot. Obviously, I was using this throughout the tarot study that primarily went on, I think the end of February, and it's ending. Well, the first group who's going through it, their commitment is ending on April 7th. So I used my very beautiful independent version that I never touch. It's in the shelf. I'm not getting it. But I got my beat up copy. I did say I was planning on, what was I planning on doing, y'all? I was planning on pulling out my backup copy because it's new and replacing it. But I think I asked the divine, do I need to replace it yet? And the answer was no. You can continue using this one until it just really, till they just really fall apart. No, I'm just kidding. Eventually I will replace it because I do have a backup mass market edition that I can replace this one with. Or I could use my indie one, but I ain't going to do that. So yeah, that's the Light Seers. I use it all the time for client readings, but we've been using it a lot in the tarot study. And if you still want to join the tarot study, remember it's evergreen. You can join at any time, even a year or 2 years from now, whenever you discover this video or any of the videos about tarot study. We have folks who are coming to the tarot study from decks past. And I plan to participate in some of their posts and get engaged with those who are coming new to the tarot study. But the inaugural group, we're having our wrap party on Thursday, April 7th, 2022. So, we got to celebrate those who was in it with me at the beginning of the tarot study. So yeah, the Light Seers Tarot with this, and sometimes I would incorporate other decks to kind of drive home, like say the Moon card, and what are we picking up, comparing and contrasting. So much fun. I'm grateful to my Facebook group folk. Thank you all for your amazing energy, for giving so freely of yourselves. It just makes it such a special place. It's my happy place in Facebook world. All right, did I touch on everything? I have one more, and then I'll let you guys go. This one I hadn't used really. It was, again, procured or bought back when I was going through a major shift in my life. Just major shift. Y'all know all about it if you've watched the channel for a while. But the Lua Tarot, I actually met the creator on a couple of occasions at the Northwest Tarot Symposium in Oregon. And I love this deck. It is in black and white. I don't really own black and white decks. Anyone who knows me knows I usually go for lots of color. Love color. As y'all can tell, color. With maybe like a black or white backdrop, but color everywhere else. But this deck, I really enjoy using for a few readings, and that's the Chariot, and it's beautiful. What can I say? Here's the backs. It goes beautifully with the box. Look at that. It's Medusa. Here's the guidebook in the back. Yeah. It's like, did she sign it? I don't know. But here's the guidebook. I know she signed the creator, Marie Bento. She signed my Divine Muses Oracle card, because I'm one of those people. When I get like an indie version and I'm like, can you sign it? I'm like, I'm that one. I collect books and decks that are first edition, author signed. Like, I'm that one. I'm like, I'm such a collector. And it happened in like the last 10 years. I mean, I've been collecting my whole life, but in terms of like decks, books, probably the last 15 years that I've been doing that. Chasing after authors and like, sign my book. Isn't that amazing? So this is my deck. Here's the King of Wands. And I want to get to know this one a bit more. My vision is that maybe with my Moon Dancers and Rebel Soul members, if they're up for it, that we start to consider doing indie deck tarot studies, mini tarot studies with indie decks if they have them. If they don't, they can always use another deck. That's why I always encourage, for those who are doing my tarot study, you can always use another deck. But anyways, maybe we'll get together and work on a mini study of an indie deck if they have it. If not, we'll see what decks we have. But I like to keep the decks mass market for the general population tarot study group in the Facebook group, because I want everybody to feel like they can be a part of it. Yeah. So, yeah. All right, guys. I think I got all my decks discussed quarterly. This was longer. I should have made this a live stream, but that's okay. Hopefully you all don't mind watching this long video. Next time I'll shrink it. Maybe just limit it to one oracle, one tarot per month. What do you think? All right, guys. I love you all. Take very good care of yourselves. I'm going to see you in the next video. Bye.